Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in today. Skulltoons. So I made a video on this already. I'll link it so you can see it if you want to. But the pre-sale is coming out pretty freaking soon. 13 hours, 43 minutes, 46 seconds, and counting. But people brought it to my attention, and I was trying to get to it a lot sooner this week, but I haven't been able to. The Skulltoons team. So apparently their team has been doxxed. I've already kind of gone through it a little bit, and you can't really find anything past these three: Dev, and then the Dev Scully, the Skull Spider, Skull Whale, and these guys over here. The remainder, you can't really find anything on them. It just sort of links to a Twitter account that is relatively active, I guess. But really, we can only focus on these three. So we've already gone to Theodoru, I believe I'm saying that now. Theodoru. He's an artist. I actually really like his work. He does a series of different things, but they all have like that look to their face. Right, with like even with an X in the middle, or maybe even like a flower representing the X. But that's the kind of artwork that he does. This is also part of it as well, which doesn't really have the skull look, but like most of his stuff has that. It's got like the blown out cheek look, and et cetera, et cetera. He's done like the Bugs Bunny, a Mickey Mouse version, and a Pinocchio version with that same sort of style and aesthetic. And I don't know why. I said this last time. I really don't know why, but I like the look. I guess I am kind of into skulls, I suppose. So I guess that's why. I don't know. But I think it looks pretty cool. And that's predominantly what I really liked about this project. But we're here to also talk about some of the other guys. So these two, these are the creators or the founders, right? So we've got Kevin and we've got Tome. So we'll start with Kevin over here. This is Kevin's Twitter over here. I like the image he actually has here, the Naruto version. I wish I could have that. That would be cool. I want that one. But Kevin, so he's over here. So the problem with both of these guys, both Kevin and Tome, we don't really have to go through them one at a time like that. We can kind of do them at the same time because there's not much to be said in terms of their history. Now, I like to take a look at the team's history to see what they've done to indicate if they can do it again in the future. If there's anything like that, that does help me gain more confidence in the projects that I'm invested in, because if you did it before, you can probably do it again. Or if you have extensive history in being in projects certain like this, or running and promoting, advertising, selling a business or to people, selling merchandise to people as well, because that's kind of what this is, then I have more faith that like, okay, you can do it with the NFT space. Now, not too much history. Both these guys graduated relatively early, both in a business sort of diploma degree thing. So this guy's got a bachelor's degree in economics / entrepreneurial leadership, and that's Kevin. He also, business development representative. He did that for about 10 months, and a real estate development professional did that for another 6 months. And then he was an intern at a couple places. Again, not a tremendous amount going on there. He does actually talk about other things. So they have this video here, as you can see. I'm not really going to play it. I went through it already. It's basically just them kind of going over, this is the doxing, right? And that's Kevin. And the other one is Toma. And they're basically just kind of going over, that's their big doxing event. They go on, they had this, and apparently, I guess this was a live stream of sorts, and they had some people come on and kind of ask them questions about what was going on and what their plan was and where they were going with it. And one of the big things that, kind of the big thing that they're pushing for, like their main big thing, is sort of this launch pad-like idea, where which they're going to have a DAO. So the community will get to decide who gets highlighted on this, but they're going to bring in a bunch of artists, because Theodoru wanted, he was an artist, traditional artist, got into the NFT space, and he has friends and other people he knows in the industry, and he wants to bring them on, especially if they don't have any prior connection into the NFT space. So they're looking specifically for artists that don't have a community surrounding them in terms of the NFT space, but they're great artists and they can help onboard them and then provide, whitelist opportunities to these brand new NFT artist, not but still prior traditional artists, brand new to the NFT space, and they can provide their holders of their NFT with the opportunity to get in on whitelists and whatnot. And I guess through a series of kind of seeing the art, the community gets to vote on who gets highlighted in the next kind of event or NFT spree or whatever you want to call it, right? So that's kind of the main question they were asking there, and that was the big thing that was addressed. We'll take a quick look because I don't think I mentioned Timo. Sorry, it's Timo. Apologies. So Timo is a similar boat. He's got a Bachelor of Science, Management and Economics. He graduated in 2021. So these guys are both very, very new, fresh out of school. He's got investment banking internship, intern strategy and transactions, M&A, a series of internships working in the financial industry. And he's got a business background in terms of his education. Same thing with Kevin. So they both have the sort of schooling credentials to get it done. Can they get that done? We'll kind of have to trust and see. For me, not to say that they can't. They don't really have an extensive history of doing so. And that's a lot of the NFT space. So for me, their mint's coming in like 0.14. I think is what their mint starts off at. And again, where's that? Do I still have the Tomo stuff here? The Theodoro stuff, sorry. I just like the art. So for me, it still comes down to that. These guys don't have an extensive history for me to be like, all right, I fully untrust everything they're doing. But they do seem pretty dedicated. They have this riddles game that they play with their audience. It's not the right word. With their Discord. With the people who are invested into their project, who's invested their time into the project. These are the kind of, they are in having these riddles. Actually, at the ending of this video, he does mention a riddle, a clue. So this was done on March 10th. So I imagine that's already been done, especially because the pre-mint's coming out. But they do take their time and they do try to kind of make it a little bit more fun, I guess. And that's really cool as well. It does show that they're kind of dedicated to create this whole sub game that you guys can play, a game that's not going to end. They are going to be having more of these riddle competition stuff happening. Our holders control the DAO. Oh, sorry, not that one. Here we go. The exclusive Skull games. So in these monthly games, holders of the Skulltoons and partnered projects will compete in a series of riddles to gain access to an ultra rare Victor's collection. So that's what basically they did this for whitelists as well. And so, they'll be doing it for several different things that they have in the future. And it's kind of a cool way to get the community excited and more involved. So I like that. Again, they don't have a stupidly extensive background to prove that they've done this before. The biggest person with the biggest background there comes to Theodoro, who is a proven kind of veteran artist of the game. And to me, that's my most excited part about this. Like, I really like this Naruto looking one here. Wish I could mint that one kind of idea. So I love the art surrounding this project. Nothing's wowed me with the team here, except for the fact that they create the riddle stuff, and they just seem like, they seem like all around good guys. But again, they don't have a crazy background in what they're actually trying to do. But, they're going to try and do something. And what their roadmap says is not, impossible to do. Offering some solid like 3D collectibles, offering a DAO. If you have the right people behind you, that dev dude, you can make this happen if he's the right guy. I don't have access to that guy's background because this doesn't really take me anywhere. It sort of just takes me to his Twitter and, Skull Dev Scully, which doesn't really lead to anything. You can't see the contract here, which you can see, is verified. So there's that. I'm going to keep my eye on this project. I still think the art's pretty dope. And I'm going to look for an opportunity to maybe jump in on this when I can, because I just think it's cool. But don't let me sway you. What do you guys think of the project now? Have you been in there for a bit? Anything, comment down below. All right, guys. Till next time, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.